Welcome to Beloved Blackness. It's week 17. I'm Dr. B. So we've been talking over the past few weeks about the deep layers or deep structures of culture that we often think about culture as those top layers, the layers where we focus on rituals or behaviors, and maybe even like foods, those sorts of things. But those are just the manifestations that Dr. Wade Nobles describes. And so he talks about 3 layers, with the upper top layer being manifestations, the middle layer, which is still part of the deep layer, or which is the first part of the deep layer, are aspects, and then the deeper layer, which are factors. And those factors include axiology, ontology, cosmology. So we talked about ontology first, the nature of being, and the nature of being in an African worldview or cultural system is spirit, is at the essence of all things, consubstantiation. And then we talked about cosmology in terms of the structure of the universe, and the structure of the universe or nature is one of interdependence or interrelatedness. And then we talked about last vlog, we talked about axiology, which is the value within relationships. And so within African axiology, it's member to member, person to person. And so today we're going to talk about epistemology. And so epistemology is ways of knowing. Okay, so I wanted to review those because they're all interrelated. And so if we have an ontology that spirit is at the essence of all things, and our axiology is person to person because we're connecting spirit to spirit, not based on the physical manifestations but our interconnectedness in terms of the cosmology, then it would make sense that our epistemology, ways of knowing, wouldn't be based just in material ways of knowing, but also spiritual ways of knowing. And sometimes people even would say a felt sense of knowing. And so think about how we can experience ways of knowing, but also how we receive information, how we are moved by information. And so one really visible part that we can think of easily within an African episteme is the ways in which music and the rhythms and the words of songs can move us in ways in which we can have an experience of knowing something deep. It could be some deep truth about, oh yeah, that is true about love, or some deep truth like we think about the blues, oh that's true about pain. And so our music reflects an African epistemology, or a way of knowing, because the music sinks into our very being and soul and captures something that's already within us that comes out and gets called forth out of that music. Another way that we can think about it is, you think about your big mama or your grandmother, your Medea, would have a sense about somebody, be like, God has called them to preach, or there's something about that person, I think you need to be careful about them, Brinell. And so that's like a way of knowing. They may not even have any information about the person's reputation, what they've done, but it's a sense that something in their spirit is saying, something's not right, or something in their spirit is saying, there's something really unique and gifted about that person. Okay. Also, you can think about dreams that you often hear people of African descent having dreams that can be foretelling or foreshadowing, like dreams of water being symbolic, usually about somebody's about to give birth, or people who may say they had a dream about someone who, and then the next week or so they transitioned and they died. And so dreams can be another way of knowing. And then we think about also when you walk into like a new house or a home or someplace, and then you have a sense about something, like you may be looking to purchase this home, and then you just kind of have like this felt sense that something just isn't right. I've heard many stories like this, and then come to find out that something tragic may have happened in the home, in that particular home. And so the awareness that if spirit is at the essence of all things, so that means there could be ways of knowing that are connected to our spiritual ways